in Peterborough. How wonderful it is to be back with you today for yet another wonderful show packed with advice and information about health. How's it all been going for all of you? The nights are getting longer. It's becoming darker a lot more quicker, isn't it? And honestly, the amount of coughs, colds, minor ailments that I'm seeing within surgery. Oh, goodness gracious me. So do make sure that you keep yourselves all wrapped up warm, taking plenty of vitamin C, having plenty of fluids, and taking plenty of rests, as this isn't a very kind time to many of us. So I'm Dr. Shabina Kayum. I'm your host today on one of your favourite shows, The Body, Health and Mind. I maybe sound a bit biased with that, but I feel that I deserve to be. And I bring you shows in regards to health every single week, packed with information, and I get the very best and the very well-versed, I would say, specialists in their own fields. And today I have one such specialist. I've been talking to him just offline, and I'm going to introduce him, tell you a little bit about him, because he's got a very, very interesting background. So it'd be wonderful to tell you about him. Now, I have Ravinder with me, who's a trained optometrist and has been successfully caring for people's eyesight for over 15 years. And Ravinder is very well respected, and he's a sincerely experienced individual in client-centric care, which obviously relates and translates into what he does now. And he's got hundreds of satisfied patients. Now, he suffered from digestive issues and symptoms of poor health in 2006 and developed a passion and keen interest in healthy eating, nutrition and fitness. And in that, it fueled a desire for him to learn all he could about the connection between the energetics of the body, nutrition and health, thus spending the last 6 years in extensively researching, and he went on to further train into the effects of nutrition and lifestyle changes on the body and its contribution to a healthy, balanced life. Now, he became so knowledgeable in the field of naturopathic nutrition that he was studying at the London College of Naturopathic Medicine, and he also attended the Institute for Functional Medicine certification program. So he's also trained for 3 years with Inner Source in Eden Energy Medicine, pioneered by Donna Eden. And this new knowledge and insight has resulted in major improvements in his own health and the clients he's helped. And he's passionate about combining the best of natural medicine and nutrition to address conditions. And those conditions are, and this is, wait for it guys, it's wonderful, affecting digestion, dry skin, hormonal symptoms, mood swings, lack of lean muscle mass, fatigue, sugar addiction, especially pain. So we want you to participate in the show. You know that we are Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, like the Salam Radio page. Call us on the studio telephone number 01733602133, or send us a text message on WhatsApp 07745278978. And with that being said, in one breath, I would like to pay greetings to Rav.
Hi, Shabina.
Hello, how are you? I'm fine. It's wonderful to have you on board and on this show. It was wonderful talking to you earlier. I am fascinated with what you do, Rav. Would you like to tell us a little bit in your own words? Because that was a bit of a mouthful, I must say.
Yeah, I know. I'm basically, back in 2006, I think I went to India and I probably contracted some kind of infection from there. You know, when you go abroad and you eat something,
sure,
you come back with that sort of dodgy belly. Took a round of antibiotics,
okay,
more or less fixed it, but there was always this niggling issue. I had IBS, I had runny stools, I had all the classic symptoms.
Yeah. And
I came across a lady called Donna Eden, and just randomly watched her on. There was a YouTube video she had where she was massaging a point just below, within the rib area, and this point was called a neurolymphatic point. It's not actually related. It's not a lymph point, but it's a sort of like an energetic point in Chinese medicine, which connects the digestion area to that point. And I started massaging that area. I did it religiously, like twice a day, as much as I could. Yeah. And within like 2 or 3 weeks, all my symptoms disappeared, and that's what really got me interested. You know, I just thought there must be something in it.
Yeah.
I went on then to do the training,
Mm-hmm.
and and during that training, I saw clients, friends, family, and the one question they always, they felt much better after practicing on them, but the one question they always had for me was, okay, so what do I eat? What can you tell me what you suggest I should eat? And I had no answer for them, because we're all individual. I know what I eat works for me, but I could be a Mr. Google and go on Google and tell them. But I thought I need to get more educated on nutrition.
Yes.
So being someone who's always been into natural therapies, I decided to not go the mainstream route, but go down the naturopathic route, because a lot of the principles were aligned with my my values. So I went to college, and while I was actually just before college, I as an optometrist, I was doing home visits. So I was visiting the elderly, the disabled, and doing their eye tests. And what I found, what really hit me, which really made me decide, okay, this holistic health is the route I want to take, is that every time, actually most times when I went to visit these people, they used to say things like, oh, if you could only make me walk again, or if you could only, help me with my breathing, or if you could only help me with this, and I saw a lot of patients with dementia as well, and the whole impact of seeing these people on a daily basis really just, I guess it did upset me, and I thought there must be something that we can do to prevent this from happening. And so that was part of my journey, and that triggered me to research more. Then I went to nutrition college, to the College of Naturopathic Medicine, and oh my God, that the whole curriculum blew my mind. And from there, I've just been on a sort of roller coaster, I guess, of learning and knowledge, because it's not only just nutrition, and this is what you find. It's other things which can affect us, and it's mainly stress. And we all need. It's not just nutrition. Nutrition almost is one of the last things we look at. Funnily enough, one of the things we have to address is sleep and fluid, breathing, your mind, and then nutrition. And once I finished my education in nutrition, I had one of my first clients was someone who had fatty liver disease, and I remember when he came to me, he's only in his mid-30s, and he was getting sort of heart pain, and he went to the GP, and the GP had said, we're going to put you on statins because your cholesterol is 8.4, and the signs of fatty liver, and it's not reversible. And he was very stressed, and he came and saw me, and I didn't know whether I could help him or not. I thought, let's give it a go. All I can promise you is let's look at your diet, look at what's going on in your life, and let's see what result we can get. And so we addressed his stress, which he was overworking. A lot of it was just his diet, too much sugar, and that was probably the main one, and put him on a few supplements, and then after 3 months he went, his GP said, look, if you don't want to go on the statins, I'm going to refer you to the specialist, the endocrinologist. And so he had an appointment with the endocrinologist, and so I worked with him for 3 months. And he went to the endocrinologist, and he had no fatty liver. His cholesterol levels had dropped to 4.8.
Wow.
The consultant even wrote a letter to his GP saying how surprised he was that his cholesterol had dropped so much, and he suspected that he must be on some cholesterol lowering supplements, which he wasn't on. So
Wow.
and that was quite inspiring, very inspiring for me. And I thought, oh my God, you know, we have medics in the family, and his family, and basically they had all said, you know, it's quite a serious condition.
Yes.
You need to go on the statins. So
Yes.
the doctor said, the consultant, said, okay, we're not going to put you on any medication. Let's just monitor you and see how it goes. And he lost a lot of weight, and which a lot of the family were concerned about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was just but you know, we built him back up.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that was a good thing. You know, this is so fascinating, Rav. So what we're trying to say is that with and this gentleman that you're referring to with regards to his fatty liver, so were they obviously, how much would you have attributed to supplement taking with these natural interventions, and how much would you have implemented lifestyle modification? Because I think a lot of the battle that I face from an allopathic point of view, coming from a background whereby, yes, I'm the drug supplier, as it were, giving out medications, is, and I'm not a fan, by the way, I'm not one of those GPs who likes throwing out statins. I really do like the fact that we sit down and educate our patients on lifestyle modification. However, because of the demographic that we belong to, that is challenging. We have a particularly challenging demographic when it comes to health, such as diabetes and heart disease. And the lifestyle modification isn't as easy as we think. So would you be able to tell our listeners that how much lifestyle modification is involved with regards to diet, or can they just rely on supplements alone?
The last thing you said, absolutely not. You cannot rely on supplements.
Okay.
Because supplements are what they are, supplements by definition.
Sure.
They are meant to supplement what you are already doing. If you're, for example, if your digestion system is not functioning,
Yes.
and you don't have enough stomach acid in the stomach, or it's not strong enough, you won't digest any of those vitamins.
Right.
You won't. So they say it's not what you eat. You're not what you eat. You are what you absorb. So a lot of, like, he was getting heartburn symptoms as well, and normally what people try to do then is lower the stomach acid, but that can actually sometimes work against the body.
Yes.
And the reason he was getting that was purely because of stress. So the sphincter muscle at the top of his stomach wasn't closing, so the stomach acid will go up there. There has to be a certain level of acid in the stomach for that to actually close. Therefore, the stomach acid won't go up there. So he had a bit of a lazy sphincter muscle. And what we did is, through lifestyle changes, the way he eats. For example, he had to have 15 minutes before his food, I would get him to have hot water or something bitter. So I had prescribed him some bitters, which start the process of digestion. So all your pancreas, your intestine will start to secrete the enzymes which you require for digestion, and your stomach will also start. You bring blood to the stomach when you have something warm, and therefore your stomach will start to produce the right amount of stomach acid for you, and so you digest the food. I got him to stop eating lots of little meals and got him to either eat just 2 main meals. He's a very busy person. I said, maybe let's just cut down your amount, the frequency that you eat, and let's cut it down to just 2. So you give your digestive system a break.
Okay.
So a few hours of fasting, and then you eat again, and your body's a lot more relaxed. I also taught him not to eat on the run, not to eat at his desk, because we have we have two nervous systems. Well, we have one nervous system, and
Yeah.
there's two parts of this nervous system,
Correct.
as you might know. And one's the sympathetic nervous system,
Yeah.
which we classically call the fight,
Yeah.
flight, and freeze. And then we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is we call it the rest and digest.
Yeah.
So when you're working or when you are doing something, even driving,
Yeah.
your body is in fight and flight. It's not resting and digesting.
Sure.
So no blood is getting to your stomach. So
Yeah.
you may as well not eat if you're doing any of those things. You're
Yeah.
better off not eating until you've had a rest. So these are little strategies I had in place. Also his sleep. We had to work on his sleep, make sure he's getting the deep sleep.
Yes.
So he's getting the rejuvenating sleep, which usually occurs between the hours of 10 and 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
10 to 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
where your body just goes into a detoxification, and it basically is converting, it's doing housekeeping for the body, and removing any, just anything that's not meant to be in the body. It's processing it, and it's like cholesterol, for example. There's there's quite a few lifestyle changes we made. Sleep, water.
Yeah.
When taking his history, I found that he didn't have enough salt in his diet. So now salt, there's a caveat there, because if you have high blood pressure, then you should not be increasing your salt, because it can increase your blood pressure.
Sure.
But if you do not have blood pressure, then having the right types of salt in your diet is fine, because it doesn't cause you to have a high blood pressure. It's a funny thing. It's when you have high blood pressure, then it's too late. You can't. Then the salt is gonna harm you. But salt in itself is very good for stress reduction. It gives you the electrolytes, gives you energy, allows you to. It gives you enough like sodium chloride for your stomach acid to be produced. He also had. Every person's an individual, so he had cold sores and he had other things going on, so I found that he was zinc deficient as well. So zinc is also good for stomach acid. And I mean, what I'm getting at is, usually when I see a client, there's not so his fatty liver disease wasn't caused by maybe someone else's, what would cause someone else's fatty liver disease. So you look at the whole picture of every single thing that's going on in his life, his symptoms, and a pattern will start to emerge, and you start to see where the deficiencies are. Now, when it comes to supplements, I gave him a B complex, but I chose a very good one, which is food-based, and his body can absorb. And so, I mean, a lot of people are taking supplements from high street stores, but those supplements are cheap and they use synthetic ingredients, and a lot of the time they're not really absorbable. So you know, like calcium carbonate is like chalk, and so there's ultimately what I found from my experience, food is king, and it's over supplements. But,
Yeah. So my question to you is, which is, you know, this is wonderful. I'm learning about zinc. I'm learning about salt. So I've got one question for you regarding salt. But before that, I'd like to ask you. So with a lot of our listeners who are listening, who have an Asian demographic and say make their regular curry and chapati, and you have the common scenario of a lady between her 30s and 50s who's providing and cooking for a whole family. She's got a busy lifestyle, looking after her children. What would be your advice to her? Can she maintain the same type of Asian diet that we are all quite accustomed to eating? Or would you suggest or advise that actually, no, that needs modifying? Because a lot of what you have said suggests diet modification, which is only but a good thing. But a lot of us want to get rid of our diabetes. A lot of us want control of our blood pressure. And I agree with you that medication isn't everything. So wouldn't it be absolutely wonderful if we could instill this belief and education into our listeners about what type of diet that our ladies at home or gentlemen that are listening in, and our taxi drivers who are also listening, could implement? What would be your advice to the lady who's cooking for a whole family, for example?
I mean, fundamentally, I think if you're cooking at home and you're using good ingredients, then there shouldn't really be a problem. I only see with diabetes and these liver issues, it's usually what's happened over the last 15 years is our food has become very bland, like real food, like vegetables. Like if you try to eat tomato now, you wouldn't be able to taste it. It doesn't taste of anything. If you went to Italy, it'll be juicy and it will be tasty. So what's happened is that our food has got bland, and also our other foods have had flavors added to them. So the one thing the first I suggest always is throw away anything that's in a packet.
Okay.
If you really want to make a big shift, food is kind of overrated. So I think first of all we do eat too much as well.
Okay.
We're not in Pakistan and India. Classically, our diets they were very, very good for us there because we were active.
Yes.
You know, farmland.
Yes.
Physical labor. We were out in the sunlight.
Yes.
Here we don't get as much sunlight, so you have a lack of vitamin D.
Yes.
But coming back to a busy, it's really hard, you know, because I'm a man. So I don't want to, you know, when there's a lady trying to cook for the whole family, it is easy to revert to frozen meals or packets.
Or making your curry and making your chawal and your biryani and all of that. It is. I mean, I must say I've got 4 kids and I resort to cooking where I know, oh goodness, this is like a good wholesome meal. I've got my curry, I've got my rice, the kids are going to come home and do it. But actually, if I look at it in depth, I think, well, you know what, there are probably healthier ways to do that. So it's about change within the home. Rav, I've got a question from Safura Houghton, who's joined us, a big advocate of natural remedies and healthy eating, and she asked, please could you talk about the bulking agents in supplements and how harmful they can be when stored in the body long term. We've got 3 minutes until we go for a break.
Okay, I have this debate. This question has been going on for so long. I have mentors and peers and who say that it doesn't really matter, and then I have others who say it does matter because one of the additives they use is magnesium stearate, and that can actually stop you from absorbing natural magnesium. Right. You know, so it's I personally don't use any supplements with any additional you know, the additives that they have. That's just that's the way I will assess a supplement. It's the first thing I look at. So sure. I'm actually with her. Like that's. But at the end of the day, also, you know, I look at the result as well. So if a supplement has a specific result, it can be used short term, but maybe not long term. Ultimately, you need to be eating plenty of colourful vegetables and fruits, and that's our supplements. That's our actual real supplements.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's brilliant. I hope that. Yeah, I hope, Sister Safura, that's satisfied your answer. I know that there's been a big debate about it, like as you've mentioned, but perhaps sourcing, as Rav has said, a lot of your minerals and nutrients, as they call it, from diet would be far more advantageous than just relying on supplements as well. And obviously there's another big debate about the price of organic as compared to non-organic fruit and veg, and I think that, you know, the consumer industry needs to focus on this a lot more. Now, we are coming up to a break. Rav, this is so fascinating. I refuse to let you put the phone down because you're going to have to wait until the break when we're going to come back to you. And we're going to talk, it'd be great if we could talk a little bit about stress and how that's implicated. Also a little bit about heart disease. My mate Johnny has just joined. So thank you very much, Johnny, for tuning in. Johnny is a delightful friend of ours and of the radio as well. So hopefully when we come back, we will talk a little bit about stress on the body and about the other things, dry skin conditions, etc. These are the things that, you know, people really like to listen. And we've got some more questions as well. So if you're tuning into Salam Radio, join in the conversation. I know it's generated a lot of interest. And we hopefully should be talking to you after the break. So don't go away. Tune in with us after the break.
Stay tuned to Salam Radio after this short ad break.
It does not take much to bring some difference. You give some change, which makes a change, because nothing gets mileage like a charity. Just a little change turns into a chain, and before we know it, the results are massive. So give a little to make a big difference. To give donations, call UKIM on 0207 387 2157.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident Specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
दोस्ता की परेशान है
जरा कर है ना सारा सौदा मुक्या वा मुल्का विच पैसे भेजने
हूं नहीं अमार फूड वाले की फोन खड़का ते फ्री लोकल डिलीवरी कार मंगवा
आलाता उठा क्या स्पेशल आ
उना की लबाई हाइजीनिक ग्रेड 5 चीजें चंगियां म्यारी ते सस्तियां ते नाले ऑफर ही ऑफर
और क्या
ताजा गोश्त ताजी सब्जियां ते फ्रूट आटा चावल दालें मसाले ते जूस सारे बिल जमा करने गैस ते इलेक्ट्रिक ने टॉप अप भी करने पाकिस्तान पैसे बिल्कुल फ्री भेजने मतलब के एक चिड़ी ने दूध छड़ी ते हर शय लबनी
उठा जने ने आप उतरा
Amar Food Store and Halal Meat 613B Lincoln Road Peterborough telephone 01733 687374
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها
This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio, broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to your very own Dr. Shabina Sid Qayyum on the Body, Health and Mind show on Salam Radio 106.2 FM. What a wonderful show this has been. I'm not going to waste time on telling you that we're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube Live, Twitter Live, which I already have anyway, but we're going to go back to our guest. Rav, thank you very much for holding on because it's such a fascinating show. I don't think I've ever wanted to speak so much after an advert. So going back to what we were talking about, now I've got a few questions that have come on board actually, and I have an Atiya who has said, please can you ask about bloating and digestion? I suffer from an awful amount of bloating and I have just noticed that my tummy fat is increasing by the day. I tend to eat healthily. I still don't know why I feel so bloated. I've been checked out by the doctor and nothing has been found. That's a problem, isn't it? Digestion and sluggish digestion and bloating.
Yep, it is,
isn't it?
I would. I mean, it's hard. It is very difficult to give a straight answer to her because normally when a client comes in, I will have their whole history from when they were born to today to now, and usually there is some kind of stress response somewhere in your life. There has been a stressful event. Yeah. And your digestive system has responded in kind. And what can happen is even healthy foods, complex carbohydrates, which are meant to be quite healthy for us, complex fibers, our digestive system just finds it hard to digest and break down. And we have something, everyone's heard of probiotics. Yeah. And the microbiome. And in fact, if I was going to give any advice on how to eat, it would be feed your microbiome. I don't really prescribe probiotics personally. I like to go down the route of let's feed the good bacteria and try to starve the bad bacteria. And when it comes to bloating, unfortunately there's a response probably from your body. At the time of the stress, you may have eaten certain foods and your body is now sort of has a memory of those foods and now is responding by not being able to break down those foods. There's usually a gas that's released. Sometimes it's methane or hydrogen, and it's basically what can happen is that causes the bloating. So your gut bacteria, as they break down those foods, are creating a gas. And so it's quite a complex. It sounds like I can give an easy answer, but it's quite a complex. It can be. Depends what caused it. There may be some foods in her diet which are not. She's intolerant to right now, not forever, but just right now. She's intolerant to them. So yeah, that's a classic one. I'm eating healthy. I'm still getting this bloated stomach. So yes. Sometimes we have to do stool tests to find out what else is going on. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is where I've still got to get back to the salt question, and now I've got this question where you've said that we've got to do a stool test, where something has just come in mind. Recently we've had requests from some naturopathic doctors who have asked us to prescribe certain things, but I'll come back to that in a bit. Yep. Now, I have got another question that I have a son who has diabetes. Does your treatment work for younger children?
I'm assuming this is type 1.
Yes, it would be.
Diabetes. It would, yeah. It's not something I would treat. I mean, I can't treat anything. I mean, I can only support diet and health and lifestyle. It's not something I personally can. I go down the route of helping because it's the pancreas isn't working and it's not. Pancreas not functioning optimally, and you know, it's tricky. Type 2 diabetes is majority of the time it's a lifestyle issue, whereas type 1, I wouldn't really be able to
talk about.
answer that.
Treating
No.
that. Okay,
Yep.
fair enough. That's
Yep.
easier. Would you be able to
Yep.
give diet advice to people who have children struggling with their blood sugar levels as a result of their type 1 diabetes? Just diet advice. Would that be something that you do?
Yeah, I mean, depends on. See, it depends what the child's doing. You know, so if they're eating. So so all children, I'm assuming, does he like to eat cakes and he likes to eat chocolates and things like that?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell him to stop eating those things.
Of course.
But the first thing I would do is look at the ingredients of any chocolates or cakes that he buys or eats. Because there's a big difference between, and this is actually one of my pet peeves, is glucose syrup that they add to foods. So corn syrup, or it's called fructose corn syrup. That's what it used to be called. They've changed the name of it now, so it's hard to detect. But they add these to lots of foods, and I would rather have sugar than have that, because your body, I don't know how to describe it. That stuff is very addictive.
Yes.
And your insulin response it takes a lot of insulin to handle that type of syrup. It's added to foods because it's cheap, but also you don't get sick of it.
Okay.
If I told you to eat, I gave you a bowl of sugar.
Yeah.
I said, okay,
Yeah.
eat that sugar.
Yeah.
Eat the whole bowl. You wouldn't be able to eat it.
No, of course
Or
not.
Even a teaspoon, 2 or 3 teaspoons of sugar, you'd be sick.
Yes.
But this glucose syrup, you could eat any type of syrup. You could keep eating it. It's got a very subtle sweet taste that you can. There'll be a point where you do get sick, but you can eat a lot more of it. And when it's combined with fats, your body doesn't even realize it's having so much. It's probably the one thing that has to be removed from everyone's diet.
Okay.
And sugar itself, your body is not stupid. It knows how much sugar is coming in. It can regulate it. It can tell you you've had too much. But when flavor enhancers are added to foods, your whole taste system gets confused. It does, and this is what these foods are engineered to do anyway, to help to make things taste and you eat more. But that's the one thing I would just cut out.
Yeah.
Have a sweet, but make sure it just has sugar in there.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Well, that sounds quite reasonable. I would like you to inform our listeners examples of foods in which this fructose syrup that you are describing is in, so that we can inherently avoid those.
Okay, you're not going to be happy.
No, it's fine.
It's in almost every biscuit that's
Okay.
out there.
Okay, in biscuits.
In our household, my mum's recently started to bake her own biscuits. She's gone back to baking, and I think the program on Channel 4, the Great British Bake Off, has really helped with that. If you're going to eat some sweets, if you're going to eat an apple pie, if you're going to eat anything, make it at home.
Yes.
You will never overeat it. It tastes 100 times better.
Yes.
And it's healthy as well. It can actually be very, very beneficial.
Yes.
So,
with normal white sugar, brown sugar, demerara sugar, which sugar?
I mean, we've been using coconut sugar.
Ah.
I was using molasses. You can get some molasses as well.
Okay.
I haven't got a big. I think you can still use white sugar.
Wow.
It depends. It depends. Depends on the person. So if you have a very active person, works out, children, they're always running around. You're fine. It's okay. It's not. But again, it's a treat. These things are treats, and a treat. I don't know. Like I know I'm 40 now, and when I was little, a treat, you only got cake maybe once a month, once a week. But nowadays, it's so everyone's eating it every day.
Everyone's, and it's become so much more cheaper, like chocolates, etc. We've got a question coming, and now this is where I'm getting those questions sort of bombarding in. And I've got a question about what are your views on artificial sweeteners, and are they a yay or a nay?
No.
Okay, no. Why is that?
There is controversy around artificial sweeteners. So some studies have shown that artificial sweeteners do increase your insulin, or your body doesn't respond to it just like it would with sugar, and other studies have shown that it doesn't. Why I'm against artificial sweeteners is because it's all about feeding gut bacteria. And actually this question goes with that other question about the supplements and the additives they use. So these additives they add, including artificial sugars, your microbiome, your gut bacteria, there's more of them than us. They control our brain, they control our minds, they control our DNA, they change our genes, they switch them on and off. These artificial sweeteners they are harming our bacteria in our gut. And these are research and studies have shown this. It's not in the mainstream, but you can research it and you'll find that. And so my whole philosophy now is feed the gut bacteria, and it's no, I wouldn't add any
artificial sweeteners.
And there was also some controversy around it having some effects on the brain and mind. I mean, I haven't really researched that too much. That's just
Is that because of the aspartame within it? Okay, so it's a nay. Basically, for whoever has asked the question. So it's a nay. You mustn't use artificial sweetener. And Rav, where would you find this gut-feeding bacteria food? What type of food are we looking at?
I'm glad you asked that question.
Yes, we want to know.
Right. You'll find it in the skins of fruits and vegetables. You'll find it in the colours, the flavonoids. Pomegranate is an amazing one. What most people do with a pomegranate is that you just eat the fruit, which is inside, which is also good for the gut bacteria. But if you eat the pith, the actual white stuff, it's actually got some omega-3 oils in there as well. And if you taste it, it tastes almost like butter. If you really taste it.
Oh wow!
Also, if you actually the skin of the pomegranate as well. What that does is there's two types of bacteria. Well, I'm generalizing. There's bacteria which are called firmicutes, but they're not very cute, right? So they're the ones that actually can make us fat. Right?
Okay.
Then you have the bacteroides. It's hard to say that. I can't really say that one. But what you do, so with say for example the pomegranate, you eat the seeds, you eat the pith. They're like a Trojan horse. So the bacteria that loves sugar will go, oh wow, there's sugar coming in. But what the seeds and the pith have are chemicals which actually destroy the bacteria as well, the bad bacteria. So so they'll eat it, but they'll get harmed in the same way. So it breaks down the biofilm that they have protecting them as well. So oils are very important. So you get them from pomegranate. Things like rosemary, a lot of the herbs, a lot of the spices are very good for the gut. But anything bitter, like any of the bitter foods,
bitter good,
are very, very, very good.
Yes, so bitter good, which is So we know bitter good as Karela for anybody watching who's Asian. So that feeds your bacterial gut, basically, makes them very happy.
So it's even if you eat melon, watermelon, the seeds, the black seeds.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the black seeds, they've started to, if you look at watermelons now, they don't even have any black seeds in them. So you need to find a watermelon with a black seed in it.
Okay.
Just for anyone who's into fitness out there or muscle building, within so it's a little bit added information for you guys. If you the white stuff inside a watermelon, the white flesh part that no one wants to eat, that's full of citrulline, L-citrulline, and that turns into arginine, which helps promote muscle growth. So just for anyone who wants to know that. But anyway, so food has a lot in there, and it's normally the stuff we don't like to eat in the food that is good for us. But you get a taste for it, and you get addicted.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's wonderful. Now, Qasim Mohammed, thank you very much. Hey, got your invite to watch the show. It's brilliant. I'm so glad that you're all on board, and we've got lots of good people who have joined us this evening. So good evening to all of you. I want to know, because I'm becoming more and more fascinated. Pomegranate. We eat the seeds and the pith, but we shouldn't eat too much of it. Is that right?
No, I'll eat a pomegranate. I'll eat the whole thing inside, but in one go, because
okay. Will that destroy our gut bacteria though? Like
no,
it won't.
It'll help feed the good bacteria.
Okay.
And it will destroy the bad bacteria.
So it will destroy. Sorry, I got confused about that. So it destroys the bad bacteria. Now, the other thing I'd like to ask is, which type? So they're going to be short questions because I want to pack in as much as I can. I know I'm going to have to do another show with you. I know. So. Himalayan salt, rock salt, or normal white table salt?
Mix it up, but I would really avoid the table salt.
Of course.
Now the thing, again, in my research, pink salt. Everyone has this thing about pink salt, and the thing with pink salt, the reason it's pink is because it's got iron inside that.
Correct.
Salt. But the problem is it's not really absorbable, and there's lots of it lacks iodine, and it's not whole. It's a good salt, but I think if you mix it with rock salt, rock salt's slightly different, and then you have Celtic sea salt, which is probably one of my favourites. So Celtic sea salt is amazing. And
how do you differ from Celtic sea salt and normal sea salt?
It'll say it on the it'll say it on the packet.
Okay, so we've got to see if it's Celtic. Oh my goodness, you are really going to upset a few rugby players and footballers out there today, Rav.
Why? Right.
Just because of the Celtic origin. But no, it's Celtic, guys. You've got to see that it has to be Celtic in origin, definitely. Moving on, Rav, would you like to tell us the benefits of things like magnesium, for example?
Okay, so, I mean, we haven't even touched on stress, but magnesium. Okay, magnesium has like 500 things it does in the body, but one of the things it does, what it's kind of probably most famous for, is muscle relaxation and stress reduction as well. So, for example, in my optometry clinic, so many people come to me with these twitchy eyelids, and I used to get it as well. And what happens is it's normally down to lack of sleep and tiredness and stress. But the thing, those words are so generic that people don't really take them that seriously. And until I went to nutrition college, I didn't understand why the eyelid twitches. And it's only because the muscle works with calcium and magnesium effectively. So calcium will contract the muscle, magnesium will help relax it. When you have magnesium deficiency, you'll get that kind of twitch in the muscle. So that's part of it, and it's hard to. Magnesium's like an amazing mineral. It has so many processes. It's in every single thing almost every biochemical thing that happens in the body. Magnesium is involved. So it's one of those, but it gets used up
very
when
quickly.
We're stressed. Even when we're thinking too much, that's sort of stress.
Oh my goodness!
Physical stress.
So I have a dire lack of magnesium then, because I overthink everything. Where can we get hold of magnesium in terms of supplements? Do you suggest that everyone should take magnesium supplements, and where would they source them from again?
No, I wouldn't. You can. There's different types of magnesium. There's magnesium biglycinate. There's magnesium citrate. There's all these different types of magnesium, and the cheaper supplements will use magnesium oxides or oxides and things like that. So, but each of these supplements, they have a different effect. So some of them will help your heart, some will help your digestion, some will help. They all have I normally, if someone's magnesium deficient, I will tell them to get magnesium chloride salts, put them in hot water and soak your feet in that.
Okay.
It's a safer way of getting magnesium in. You can take it as a supplement. Some people can get loose stools because it pulls water out of your intestine, and then it gives you that sort of loose stools. So yeah, I do. Again, I can't answer that question directly because it's very individualized.
Sure.
So generically, put your feet in Epsom salts.
Okay.
Magnesium chloride.
Okay. We've got Sister Sphira Houghton who said magnesium spray is the way to go.
I started with magnesium spray, and some of the sprays can make you itch. Sometimes we were taught that that's because you may be magnesium deficient, and then you get that little tingle. I'm not sure about that, but there are some magnesium sprays out there which are non-itch as well. So I would, the brand, I can't think of the brand off the top of my head, but yeah, there are some like that which are they're even better.
Sure. So
he's right. Yeah.
Because you are the diet king and you are aware of nutrition in terms of that, what foods would we source our magnesium from? Because it's all about food, isn't it?
Yeah, plants.
Okay, any plant.
Yeah.
So we're looking at kelp, kale, spinach, broccoli.
Nuts and seeds as well.
Okay.
The big one. I can't really give you one vegetable or one seed that's got more magnesium than all of the others. It's like when you learn nutrition, you kind of can sometimes get sucked into the whole remedy. Eat like I've just told you, pomegranate seeds, right?
Yeah.
So now everyone's going to go out and buy pomegranates.
Oh, I certainly am. Yeah.
There are other fruits you can use. So sometimes you say pumpkin seeds is a classic, full of zinc. But then you also got example for zinc is people will say pumpkin seeds or Brazil nuts.
Yes.
But you can get zinc from lots of other foods as well, like eggs and meats. But generally, vegetables. And just to emphasize, so on your plate, when you have a plate of food, your meat, if you're a meat eater, I'm assuming most of your listeners probably are going to be meat eaters, that should be your side dish.
Okay.
Look at the meat as your side dish.
Okay.
And then everything else is your main meal.
Okay.
And you will also enjoy the meat more as well because it's, you're not having a lot of it. So you can eat it. You can be thankful when I'm a vegetarian, right? So
yes, sure.
But I used to eat meat, so but I'm very holistic. If you're a vegetarian and meat eater, it doesn't bother me. I just tell you how to eat it properly or how to eat the right way. So you just or if you're a vegetarian, then you have your pie or pasta, but as a side dish. But you have your vegetables, your non-starchy vegetables, as your main meal.
Okay.
And that will resolve probably that one piece of advice will probably change people's worlds. And to add to that is the rainbow diet. Now, what I mean the rainbow diet, you have one food of every color on your plate.
Okay.
Or if you can't do it in one go, at least one day, just see. Have you eaten something yellow? Have you eaten something orange? Have you eaten something purple? Last week you were talking to the ophthalmologist about macular degeneration, etc. And the flavonoids which are found in the skins of these foods, the color, the more colorful the food is, the more powerful it is.
Wow.
So it's more powerful than the supplements that we, as optometrists and ophthalmologists, will recommend sometimes to patients. You just can't beat food, but it has to be color. There has to be a lot of color in there.
Yes. So we've got 1 minute, and I have a special question from a very special sister Tyra Rashid, who says, great show. I've picked up a few tips for my education program. Please, can you mention something about fats very quickly?
Fats? All right. Okay. So personally, I avoid vegetable oils.
Okay.
Right. So in India and Pakistan, they use mustard oil, which is a very good oil to use, but unfortunately in the UK, it's only for external use, and it's not really a good, you can't really eat it. So the oils, coconut oil, as everyone probably have heard, is a big one. Ghee.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's used as medicine in Ayurvedic cooking.
Yeah.
The only problem with ghee, when you tell someone, eat ghee or butter and these natural fats, people go overboard as if, you said it's okay. So they eat too much of it. But you have to also be active and eat in moderation. But, that's avocado oil is another one.
Avocado oil. Okay.
Yeah.
So which are the oils to avoid in the last 45 seconds of our program?
Yeah. All vegetable oils.
All vegetable oils should be avoided commercially.
All vegetable oils. And if you want to know, that's why our Punjabis and basically generally Indians, that's my personal opinion is our downfall is because we use vegetable oils in place of our natural oils that we use back in India and Pakistan.
Right.
So these vegetable oils they become rancid.
Yes.
As you know, our cell is made of oil.
Yeah.
It's a fatty lipid, so you're putting rancid oils into our body.
Yeah.
So those cells, what's going to happen to them? Your brain cells are made of oil. So you're going to get a rancid brain. So sorry, controversial, but
But thank you so much, Rav. It's last 10 seconds. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much, and it's been a brilliant show, and we will have you again.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, listeners, for joining in.
Your number one for